Don't stop, believe. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't win a singing contest. I won a speech contest. I have to remind myself of that. So if the singing sounded bad, don't worry. That wasn't what my intention was. Thank you so much for this invitation to be here tonight. And I'd like to share a few things that I learned in the last 30 years or so from Toastmasters International, what has taught me, how I've grown, and how I got here. One thing that people might not know about me, I'm sure it maybe shows, but most of us have that number one fear, which is public speaking. I do not have that fear. And I credit that to the fact that my mother, in all her infinite wisdom, put me in front of an audience of 200 Avon ladies at the age of 10 or 12 years old, had me speak in front of these people, these women, these salespeople she was in charge of. And because of that, I have no fear of public speaking. I thought everybody got up and spoke in front of 200 Avon ladies. Because of that, to me, that was the base for me to be able to continue with my speaking career, public speaking career. I joined Toastmasters in 1989. I had just started working at Abbott Laboratories, and I started as a temporary. So you do your 3 months, and after 3 months, they reevaluate whether they want to hire you as a permanent employee. Luckily, I was able to check all the boxes. I'm headed down to HR there at Abbott Laboratories to fill out all that paperwork. And I'm walking down the hallway, and I hear laughter coming from an office room. I'm thinking, wait a minute, laughter? People at work? Something's not right. I looked into the room, and there was a small glass window, and I saw a gentleman in the front of the room giving what looked like to be a speech. People were laughing, people were applauding. I put my ear to the window to hear his jokes. And of course, the first thing that popped into my head was, Luisa, you're funnier than he is. I had to get into this room to see what was going on. As soon as he finished speaking, the sergeant at arms let me in, and I asked him, what is going on here? He said, ma'am, this is a Toastmasters International humorous contest. And I said, wow, can I compete right now? He said, ma'am, you have to join first. Okay. So I joined Toastmasters International during a humorous contest. To me, that was epic. I wound up realizing that the reason I joined Toastmasters was because all I wanted to do was compete. I didn't want leadership. I didn't want gavel masters. I didn't want anything like that. I just wanted to compete. With Toastmasters, the beauty of being able to just want to compete is along the way with the people in Toastmasters, you wind up getting influenced to do other things that you didn't know you were going to enjoy doing. I have right now, currently, my mentor, 94-year-old Phyllis Allen, who chartered the club that I am a member of. She is the one that eventually got me into gavel masters, leadership, things that I really didn't want to do, but she asked me to do it. And who can say no to a 94-year-old mentor? I couldn't. The beauty of her was that she was able to tell me, Luisa, now mind you, I've been competing, started again competing in 2013. She said, Luisa, you need to go for that world championship stage. Well, Phyllis, what is that? I said, I like humor. She says, no, no, no. I think you're good enough to go ahead and compete against people around the world, and you can make it to the finals stage. Okay, if you think I'm good enough, let me try. 2013, I tried, didn't make it to district. 2014, 2015, 2016. And I'm telling you this, not that I'm proud of the fact that I've lost over 40 contests. I'm telling you this because if this is something you truly, really want, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take your determination. In fact, when I give keynotes now, the first thing I ask my audience is, if you're competing, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to check off a box? Are you doing it because you're trying to impress somebody? Are you doing it because your boss or your mentor told you to do it? You see, with everything in life, you're going to determine just how serious you are about competing. If you want to lose weight, how serious are you about it? Oh, Luisa, you need to lose weight. Yes, I do. But yet, am I ordering the extra taco at lunchtime? Yes, I am. That is not going to help me. That means I'm not serious enough about it. However, with Toastmasters, I was serious. So I get all the way up to 2019 and I go to compete. And before I get on the district stage, I tell my 94-year-old mentor, Phyllis, I said, you know what, Phyllis? If I don't win district this year, I'm done. What do you mean you're done? I said, I'm done. Okay, how many times do I have to lose to realize this isn't for me? They're not going to get me. I don't get them. I'm not giving them what they want. I'll just quit. And she looks at me and she says, you know what your problem is, Luisa? You know why you're not winning? I went, wait a minute. I've been doing this 6 years and you're just now telling me why I'm not winning? She said, you're too competitive. You're too serious. People want to come up to you and say hi to you, and you won't even talk to anybody because you're in the corner and you're rehearsing your speech. And I said, wait a minute, Phyllis. Just in case you didn't know, this is a contest. Okay, contest, not con fun. It's a contest. I'm being tested. I'm not here to have fun. She said, Luisa, do what you want, but in my opinion, you're not having fun, and it shows. Wow. Too serious? Me? Miss Humorous? That's the last thing I wanted to be known for. So I got on stage with the idea that even if I was going to lose this year, my last year, I was going to have fun. I got on stage in district, gave my speech, and guess what? I won. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I'm going on. I'm moving up. I've won district after 6 years. Yes, yes. I went ahead and placed it regionals. I went on to semifinals. And at semifinals, I had already been told, and a lot of people don't know this, but when you're watching the people on stage every year give their finals speech, did you know that that speech isn't their best speech? How so? We already used our best speech at semifinals 2 days prior to try to get to the finals. You have to have two different speeches. It used to be three. Luckily, now it's two. So you can take your first speech all the way up to semifinal. And when you place it semifinal, 2 days later, you have to present a different speech. Now, usually in May, district, if you win district, you're thinking, maybe I better start preparing that second speech in case I make it from the finals to the finals. I started working on my second speech as soon as I realized I had won district. I had it ready to go. It was perfect. I get there 2019 in Denver, Colorado. I present my speech, and by some miracle, I move on to the finals. That was Thursday. On Friday night, I'm reevaluating a speech that I've given a few times. I like it, but then something happened. Everybody at the contest was coming up to me and saying, wow, I saw your semifinal. It was great. I bet your final is going to be great, good, funny, energetic. No, no, that wasn't what I had. I had a rather sad, depressing speech ready to go. And I thought, I can't do this. I can't present this speech. It would be letting my audience down. So Friday night, the day before finals, the day before I'm supposed to compete, I rewrote my entire speech. I remember sitting there in the hotel room. My mentor, Phyllis Allen, was with me, and she hears me giving a speech. And she was blow drying her hair in the restroom, and she turns off the blow dryer. She says, I haven't heard that speech before. I said, because I've never given it. She goes, why are you practicing that? I said, because I'm changing my speech. She said, wait, you're changing the speech that you're supposed to do tomorrow night? I said, yes. She goes, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm going down to the lobby. I can't take this. And she left. And I sat there and I stared at myself in the mirror. And I thought, Luisa, you've already made it to the top 8 in the world. Throw the dice, take the gamble, see what happens. Doesn't work out, you can come back next year. So that's what I did. I rewrote my entire speech. I went and got on stage the day after. I presented what I thought was a pretty good speech. And I remember after, when I announced that I had placed second, I thought, not bad, not bad at all. People came up to me and said, Luisa, I think you should have won. To which I replied, you should have been a judge. But that's not how it worked out. Now, here's the beauty of this, if you want to say, because I find that silver lining around every situation. I could have been upset that I didn't win first. But did you know that when you win first place, you get to travel the entire world because every district wants you presenting at their conference. There were places such as Saudi Arabia, there were Pakistan, India, Germany, Portugal, all these invitations from people wanting you to visit their district. I remember getting mad at my God, and if you've seen my speech this year, you'll understand why I say my God. I remember getting upset with him and saying, I really wanted to win. You knew that. I don't know why I didn't win. I'm sure there's a good reason. I just really wanted to win. I was invited to Puebla, Mexico, and I attended their conference giving my keynote. I gave my keynote, believe it or not, in Spanish, which I am sure my father would have been proud had he heard me, although it was probably the worst Spanish I'd ever spoken. I gave my keynote in Spanish. Everybody lines up after. I get a standing ovation. I feel great. Everybody's shaking my hands. We're taking pictures. And one lady comes up to me and says, Luisa, congratulations. You're the first Hispanic to win second place. You've gotten that high. No Hispanic has ever done that. Wow, are you serious? Yes. That's awesome. She turns to leave, and I go to talk to the next person. Then she says, Luisa. And I said, yes. She said, oh, and good luck on your quest to trying to make it to first place. Wait, what? You're not happy with second? I'm happy with second. I have to do this another 7 years? Are you kidding me? Come on, really? She said, Luisa, if anybody can do it, you can. Oh, man. Here goes the next 7 years of my life. I'm going to have to start practicing more speeches, trying to come up with different ideas. But what's funny is it took someone else to make me realize maybe she's right. Maybe I can do this. Was I dreaming big enough? I was happy to make it to second place. But after she said that, she started something in my mind, and I started thinking, maybe I do need to try and make it. But do you know what happened in 2019? Can anybody take a guess? Can anybody tell me why we're all on Zoom right now? COVID. COVID hit. And all the places that Aaron Beverly, who in 2019 won first place, I won second, all the places Aaron was going to travel to, it did not come to fruition because COVID shut everything down. Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay. I see why you did what you did. Question asked and answered. I went ahead, 2020, I thought, I can't compete on Zoom. I know what I can do, and I feed off the energy of the audience. So I thought, I'm not going to do 2020. I'm going to sit this one out. Let's go for 2021. In 2021, I was actually supposed to be giving my area speech at the contest when I was involved in a terrible accident. I remember somebody asking me, how come you didn't compete? I said, I was in a coma and it made it very hard for me to remember my lines. Sorry. So that's what happened in 2021. In 2022, I'm trying to get over the accident. In 2023, I lost my life partner of 24 years. And in 2024, 6 weeks before the contest, my mom passed away. So I'm doubting, why am I even competing? The people that I was trying to impress are gone. Why compete? I sat outside of my house in my car the night before I'm supposed to get on the plane to Anaheim to compete. And I had a little breakdown, started crying. I said, that's it. I'm not going. I'll do this again next year. There's no reason for me to do this. Jeff Stein from Chicago, a great Toastmaster that I know. I've never met him. Right when I convinced myself I wasn't going to do this, I get a text from him. He says, hey, Luisa. He sent me an emoji and it said, don't stop what you're doing. You never know who you're inspiring. What? Are you serious? I called him up. Jeff, he says, hey, Luisa. I said, I hate you, Jeff. I hate you. He said, what did I do? He said, I just sent you an emoji telling you to keep going. I said, no, I had just convinced myself not to, and then you send me this. He says, well, I said, I'm getting on the plane. He said, good. He said, Luisa, this is your year. Again, another stranger telling me what I'm capable of. Because as usual, we don't believe what we're capable of, and we will never pat ourselves on the back and cheer ourselves on. So here, all this is building up to 4 months ago. My speech of 37 strangers, all the people involved in bringing me back to life after I had stopped breathing at the scene of the accident. It's kind of funny the way we don't see ourselves, we don't value ourselves, but we wait until someone else comes along and says, you're all right. Just yesterday, I got a text from a gentleman in Poland. He said, Luisa, I just started a podcast. Could you be a guest on my podcast? I said, absolutely. I said, hey, do you have a few minutes to chat? We were on WhatsApp. I said, I can video you right now. And he said, actually, I'm in a Toastmaster meeting right now. I said, well, hey, put me on and let me say hi to the club. And he said, are you serious? I said, absolutely. That's what I'm competed for, because I love speaking to people. I love giving the keynote. I want to leave a message. I would love to say hi to your club. He says, I don't believe this. You actually want to say hi to my club? Why not? He said, give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, I'm speaking to 30 gentlemen and a few women there in Poland at their Toastmaster meeting, saying hello, go compete, go use Toastmasters to the full advantage. And he had this smile on his face. He said, Luisa, I can't believe you're talking to me. And I said, why not? He said, you're the champion. I said, you know what? I believe his name was Magovic. I said, you know what? I am no better than you or anyone else. All I did was 4 things. If you want to win first place, this is what you have to do. He said, I'm listening. I said, you have to say the right thing to the right judges on the right day at the right time. Right thing to the right judges on the right day at the right time. What does that mean? That means that there were so many times that I thought I had the perfect speech, and yet I didn't even place. But what happens when you lose a contest? Do you say, you know what? I lost. They're not going to get it. Stupid judges, they didn't know what they were doing. That's it. I'm done. And to be quite honest, that's exactly what I told myself the first time I lost the contest, because I knew I had the winning speech, but they didn't see it like that. So what do you do with a loss? Do you take it? Do you let them win? I didn't. I turned around. I reinvented myself over and over and over. And to be quite honest, when I won this year, I don't know if I won because it was a good speech or they said, just give it to her already and let her get off stage. Either way, I'll take the win. Whatever you're going to do in your life, ask yourself, why are you doing it? How much time and effort do you want to put into it? Do you really want to win? If you don't, there's your answer. Now, here's a few things that I like to do, just in case you're wondering if there's any superstitious anything that I do right before I compete. One, and this is probably more a trick than a superstition, is back in 1991, I got on stage and after 2 minutes of giving my speech, my brain, for the first time in so many years, shut down. I could not remember my speech. So ever since then, the very first 5 words of my speech, I would write it on my hand. That way, if I ever got up on stage and couldn't remember how my speech started, I looked at my hand and said, okay, right, got it. Those are first 5 words. The second thing that I would do is any time that they would display the trophies, usually it was first, second, and third trophy, first, second, and third place. I recall in Anaheim going up the wheelchair ramp and seeing the trophies on the table, and I touched the first place trophy and I said, you're mine. You're coming home with me. And that's what I've done a few times that I've been able to see the first place trophy. I've put my hand on it and said, you're mine. Whatever it is you're going to do, I want you to know that you're here in Toastmasters for a reason. Now, are you being able to take full potential? Are you being able to take everything Toastmasters is offering you and use it to your full potential? Because you would be amazed how many things you can get out of Toastmasters. It's one of the greatest organizations I can think of. It's actually the organization that cares about the members because it wants you to be a better speaker. In the last 13 years that I was competing, I have gotten so much out of this, not only in the competition area, but the last 3 years of my life that were so rocky, up and down, unpredictable, sad, depressing. I forced myself to go to the Toastmaster meetings, no matter how I felt. And I realized that because of that, I was able to make it through to the next day. Because the Toastmaster family for me is everything. They are gold. If there's somebody that you need to talk to, if there's somebody that will listen to you, all you have to do is look around at all your Toastmaster members in your club, and there's going to be somebody that's going to listen to you, somebody that's going to try to help you get over a rough patch. I don't think I could have gotten through the last 3 years had it not been for my Toastmaster family. For all of you considering whether you should stay in Toastmasters or not, Whether you have a speaking career in your future, whether your boss says he wants you to stay in Toastmasters, whatever the situation is. Again, I believe the first female president, Helen Blanchard, said, if you get out of Toastmasters, you'll never get everything you can out of Toastmasters. I am so excited because I thought once I won, I would be finished. And in reality, for me, it's actually just starting. So I have a question. Does this trophy make me look fat? Whatever you do, whether Toastmasters or not, don't stop believing. If anybody can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.